Tell me this outfit is not giving you hella friend vine vibes right now. Whoa. Oh, Mr. Sheffield. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me today. I didn't really feel like doing a tarot video, and I was trying to think of other, I don't know, spiritual or witchy or woo-woo things we can talk about, and that's when I realized I have a frick ton of plants, and I don't know, man. Maybe you guys want to hear about them. If you don't, that's cool. I'll catch you in the next one. But my foundation does not match my body. If you got some shit to say, I don't know, go ahead and say it, but just know that I know. And I'm also going to throw in tips and tricks throughout the whole video instead of just having a boring part of tips and tricks and then a bunch of plants. I don't know. I'm just going to be talking. I'm sure you're all familiar with the concept of a tulip. Look in here. Hello, nature. Hi. Way to be stunning. I got this at Walmart. Okay, tip number 1. Shop the clearance section at Walmart. This didn't come from the clearance section, but in a few short weeks, there will be tons hitting the clearance shelves at Walmart. I can teach you how to nurture it back to health. But this one is, he's fine. He's lovely. He costs $4.47, and what a bargain, because that's less than $1 for a flower. Will these last long? No. Will they try to reach the sun and grow to be gargantuan? Yeah, they're only gonna look like this for a couple days, but that's fine. They smell beautiful. This is a tulip. I would say that these are pretty easy to take care of. You can actually bury, I think, the tulip bulb to get them to come back the next year. I'm not that advanced. This is for beginners to moderate plant people. I love these for the decoration and the smell and the fact that it brings springtime into your house. I have to set these right at my window or they will not do well. That's a tulip. Next, we have this guy. I'm pretty sure he's called a dumb cane. Now, in terms of how easy is this little guy to take care of, I would say it depends on the day. I wouldn't recommend this for a beginner. I have another one. Let me show you my other one. And it started out as this size, and he's doing very well. I just repotted him into this big home. They tend to like medium light. They like to be watered whenever their soil is kind of dry for about an inch or two down under there. However, they are highly dramatic. They don't like slowly start to wilt and then you get the idea, oh, he needs water. They go from looking like this to being just downright miserable and looking like they're ready to give up on life. But fret not, if you water it, it'll usually perk up. I will say that sometimes the leaves, if you get to that point, which we've all been there, girlfriend, boyfriend, the leaf will turn white and it's best just to prune it because it ain't coming back. It's editing Candice, and the flower that I'm about to show you is not at all a pearl flower. It's a boat lily. Walmart had it labeled wrong. And just a tip, if you love plants and you love nature, there's an app called Picture This. You can take a picture of any plant and it'll tell you what it is. That is what I did to learn that I in fact have a boat lily and not a pearl flower, which explains why in the year of having it, it's never had a pearl flower. So everything else is right, but it's not a pearl flower. It's a boat lily. Okay. This one is called a pearl flower. As you can see, there's no pearl flower here. I'm interested to see what he'll do, but for now, it's not a whole lot, I think. He lives down here. This is a snake plant or mother-in-law's tongue. If you cannot keep a plant alive to save your life, get yourself a snake plant. They are so good for air quality. I live in it's like remodeled and updated, but the apartment itself is older than dirt and there's so much dust in here. And as you can see, it collects the dust, but I do think that it helps the air quite a lot. And if you recall in the intro, I told you I have an experiment going on, you know, what plant is the best plant if you can't keep one alive. I have a snake plant in my bathroom that we will go visit in a minute. Homeboy has not been watered in maybe 2 months and he's never seen the light of day and he is sprouting a new leaf. So these guys are really easy to take care of. This little guy, I put some feathers in him. It doesn't grow this way, but this is a jade plant. My best friend gave this to me and I just repotted him too because he has grown rather quickly. They feel kind of rubbery. Uh-oh, here's an ASMR moment. That's lovely. What can I say? It's a little jade plant. It's super easy to take care of. If you are looking for the plants that need little to no maintenance but are also beautiful and eye-catching, I think I water him whenever I think about it. And that's not all the time. And look, he's doing fantastic. I've put him in light and dark places and he seems to be enjoying both. This is a cactus that my other best friend and son got me for Mother's Day. I think it looks like a... I hope we can all think of what I think it looks like. I don't want to say it and get myself removed from YouTube's good graces. It rhymes with shmishmina. This big guy is a calla lily that's freaking huge. My sister got it for me for Christmas 2 years ago. And it doesn't have any flowers in bloom right now, but they are bright red whenever they do bloom. And I don't think I've ever seen a calla lily this big personally. And when it does produce a flower, it is the size of my hand. It's pretty cool. This is a finicky plant. I love you so much. It's okay, girl. But if you are looking for plants to not have to take care of, certainly not the one. Just, I mean, let me tell you about this guy. She's a girl, but they don't like wet feet, which means they don't like their roots to sit in water, so you have to be very careful about the kind of pot you put them in. And also, they're very strange as far as the amount of light they like when they are, whenever they're in bloom versus not in bloom. She needs, whatever you are, lots of light whenever she doesn't have a flower. And then when she does have a flower, if she gets too much light, then the flowers get scorched. And I can't believe this thing is still alive and going. I think it's because I talked to it. That's another way to get your plants to live happy lives. If you see that they're not doing good, sing to them, tell them a story. I don't know, tell them about your day, tell them they look good. Whatever you got to do. I firmly believe that is the only reason this guy is still alive and kicking, because he's doing really well, but again, very finicky. We have our days together where things just they're not going that well. This is a peace lily. She really needs to be dusted off right now. Oh, I think she needs a little water too. This is a gorgeous plant, and let me tell you, if you have an Aldi close to you, I highly recommend buying your plants from Aldi. Anytime I do save a plant from Walmart or just get one from Walmart, I almost always have to immediately repot it. I don't know what dirt they ship their plants in or grow. I don't know if they grow them in such crap dirt or if they, get them from a nursery and replant them into some shitty dirt just to sell it, but they don't like the dirt. No plant likes that Walmart dirt. Aldi puts their plants in fantastic dirt, and I got this beautiful peace lily. I think you'll be able to tell how big he is if I do that. Excuse my printer, we all have to print things. I bought this thing for $12. It was a bit smaller, but still pretty big in size, and it was just labeled, get this, tropical foliage. I don't think peace lilies are tropical, but also it was not sold as a peace lily. If you know plants and you know what you're looking for, definitely check out Aldi, because look up a peace lily and you'll see how expensive it is, like 99 bucks. I'll be really honest, I don't know the names of these plants. I will insert them here. I do know though that they like medium to light, and they live here on my record shelves, and they don't really cause me any problems. This guy is dramatic. As you can see, I went a day without watering him and he fell right over. I watered him just before I started filming this, hoping he would perk up, and he has a little, that's fake, don't tell. But they just live on my record shelf and mind their own business. This is a golden pothos, I'm not sure how you say it. This spot right here in my house is the magical spot for these pothoses, whatever. Every time I put one in this hanging basket right here, which also came from my friend Amber, the same one that gave me the jade plant, they just start growing. A plant that is incredibly easy to take care of for those of you who are in this to figure out what plants you can keep alive. You just got to make sure you don't over water them, and then they just grow. They also can flourish in multiple different light settings, as I will show you through as we go. And I'll show you that as we go throughout the house. This one is about that far away from the window, but I have another one right by a window, and then a couple that are in more dim areas, and they're just happy guys. This is a bromelade who has lost his flower. When you buy, I think it's called a bromelade. When you buy them in the store, they have these beautiful flowers on there. The flowers will last anywhere from 6 months to, I don't know, years and years and years. He lost his flower, but as you can see, the plant is still relatively healthy. He is getting some like white powdery mildewy stuff on him, so I'm in the process of taking care of him and nursing him back to health. I moved him. I think that may have had something to do with it, but if you buy one and it starts to die, don't throw it away because you can still have a beautiful green plant. This was a third of its size when it lost its flower, and the greenery keeps growing. And also it has a, if I can find it, yeah, there it is. It has developed a, I just repotted these yesterday. It has a new shoot. So I'm not sure if this is going to grow a new flower or not, but perhaps I can update you if that day comes. This is one of my absolute favorite plants. He does need a little bit of pruning, but this flower is, but this leaf is so old, so I don't really blame it for getting a little brown. This is called a prayer plant. And you guys, they go to bed. When it gets late, they close up and then they spread out during the daytime, and it is magical. When I got this little guy from Walmart, I saved him. He cost me only 50 cents and only had this leaf and another really brown one, which he has since shed. And now look at him, and it's only been about 6 months. I just repotted him, and he's kind of, he's leaning with it. He's rocking with it. Maybe he'll stand up one day, maybe he won't. It's his life to live, you know? This is another one that I saved from Walmart. I think I bought it for $1, and he only had 3 leaves and some brown stuff attached to him. Gave him a new home, gave him some water, and as you can see, he has plenty of new growth. I do need to prune my plants, you guys. I was trying to wait. I was trying to wait until closer to spring to give them all haircuts and new pots, but some of them were just really demanding attention. I would say this would be perfectly fitting for a beginner because you can put them kind of away from a window, especially if you don't have a lot of window space, and they will do just fine. I used to have him tucked away in a corner, but when I gave him a new pot, he didn't fit there anymore, so he has a new home here. But as you can see, he is very healthy and happy to be living in medium light. I will have to double check the name of this one, but this one has been a very easy one to grow. However, it does need incredibly bright light. When I got him from Walmart, he was just about this big here, and he has shot up over the last couple months. I water him when I think about it, so very easy to take care of. And also, this one will show you signs of when it needs to be watered. It doesn't, dramatically fall over. He'll start to look a little sad, and then I'll give him some water and he perks right back up. He does need a new home though. This guy, let's talk about him. When I bought this guy, he was a beautiful, luscious plant. I take care of him exactly the way I do the other ones. I have begged and pleaded with him to tell me his life story so I can understand him better, and he lost so many leaves, and I had all but given up on him, but I would still come in here and tell him stories and water him, and then all of the sudden he started sprouting new leaves out of these little knots from where the old ones fell off. I don't know if this is the natural process or if miracles have occurred in this here kitchen. I don't recommend it for a beginner plant because if you spend money on a plant, well, that's money that's just gonna kick the dust. You can really see the color difference in here. Again, whatever. This is an orchid, and orchid is one of my favorite flowers. And here's a thing to know about orchids. They can be easy to take care of. It kind of depends on what kind you get. If you get the ice and go ones, they're very easy. You just drop 2 cubes of ice in there. And if you don't know that trick, don't drown your orchids with water. Just put some ice in there. Some of them, all of them like ice in my experience. Some of them need ice and water. This guy just needs ice, and he actually was totally dead. And I don't know why I didn't throw it away, but then again, miracles happen in this kitchen. Not really, this is a known thing that these do, but if you leave it alone after it loses all of its blooms, it will bloom again one day, and it's very exciting to see that happen. Up here we have another pathos, again, not sure what it's called. And here's another one. I do want to show you this one because he is currently sick. You can see here all of that white powdery mildew. I have not started the doctoring process on this one yet because I am going to repot it and I want to make sure that the disease does not carry over to the new pot. So I'm going to thin him out, get rid of the diseased leaves, and hopefully he will be in better spirits. I mean, he's a fine looking plant. However, that doesn't belong on him. Down here we have more snake plant, aloe. Aloe is super easy for beginners to take care of. You just have to make sure you don't overwater it, but that you do water it at least once every 2 weeks. I would recommend a little bit of water once a week. We also have this guy, and it depends on where you get it from. They can be finicky or they can be really easy to take care of. I will say though that if a boo-boo happens, they're easy to nurse back to health. I have a perfect example of that upstairs, which I will show you in just a little bit. But this guy is living his absolute best life here and seems to be happy. I would say try your luck if you're a beginner because it really just depends on where you got it from, is the best I can tell. First of all, ignore that. This is from where I was repotting yesterday and clearly forgot to clean that up. This guy is one of my very first plants that I ever got. He's quite old. I love him so much. However, you know, like the old loyal dog in the family that just puts up with whatever people do to it. That's what this plant is for this household. As you can see, we have this happening. Okay. Perfect example. He used to be very big. However, for whatever reason, maybe it's because of the color. So speaking of, this is an excellent way to bring color into your environment. It's very easy to take care of, but it is prone to shedding leaves really bad. But it also grows new ones. I will say this is one of the slowest growing plants. It seems to be losing leaves at a more severe rate than he has been growing them lately, but all of this is new growth. These are his older ones. I feel like that's just a part of his life cycle, but also every child and every drunken idiot that has ever been in this house fucks with this plant, you guys. I don't know why. Drunk people come over here and spill beer in it, or they touch it and they mess it up, or the little kids, this is from a little kid, this is from a little kid, they just get to ripping at it, tearing at it. It could be because I have it sat at the door. However, that is a spot that this plant likes. I've tried to move him around a couple times when I noticed that things like this were happening. And, you know, life happens. Do not plant shame me. It's a plant. I'm doing my best. Everything's going to be okay. Point is that he's loyal. He should have been dead long ago, given everything he's been through. So if you are looking for something that's easy, if you have kids, I don't know about dogs or cats because it could be poisonous, but it's a ride or die, you know? This right here is one of my pride and joys. Look. Oh yes. I did have this one originally in the hanging basket downstairs that I was talking about is magical. I actually just repotted him the other day and totally underestimated how gargantuan it really is. This one though is a diva. So while they are as a species very easy to take care of, when it was in its hanging basket, I had to move it during Christmas to put the tree up, and I thought I was going to lose her. She flopped over. She was healthy, but she was limp even though she had plenty of water. And then the day that I moved her back, she perked right back up. So that, again, I'm saying plants like their homes. They don't like to be moved. We had a long sit down conversation about moving to my bedroom, and she's doing great. This is a dragon tree, and they're also incredibly easy to take care of. The only thing that they will do is, is brown at the tips every now and then, but it's usually when the leaf is ready to go. But this plant is very healthy. It is constantly having new growth, and I had it in a very bright area whenever I first got it, and I would notice that this brownage on the tips would happen a lot more, so I pruned it. moved it to a very dim area and it did very, very well for a long time. But then I noticed that it was also acting kind of weird. So again, I pruned all the weird stuff except for this right here. There's only 2 pieces. Since I moved it to this area, which is natural light, but indirect natural light, it has sprouted a ton of new growth. So I think it's found its happy place. We have more snake plant here and another dragon tree here. And again, it's doing the same thing. This is a baby, but as soon as I put it in here, it started getting new growth. So that's super cute, super easy to take care of. It's a great bedroom plant. We have a teddy bear vine and it feels so good. It's fuzzy like a teddy bear. However, very finicky. Don't recommend it for a beginner. They can be kind of expensive and also hard to take care of. So I wouldn't want anybody to waste their money, as cool as it looks. If you look up a full one, I will try to put a picture right here. You can see that they are stunningly gorgeous, but me and this guy have been through heck together and I'm trying to see if he will be happy here. This all is actually not from the original plant. The original plant totally bit the dust and I took a piece of it and stuck it in a glass of water. And it rooted and has led us here to this moment. He seems to be doing okay here. We'll see what the future holds. There is another pothos hanging from the ceiling. And down here, I do have a snake. One day I will show him to you guys, but he's a grumpy little guy. This is an incredibly easy plant to take care of. To be honest with you, I bought this guy. He used to be where the records are, but then he outgrew that. Because he got so big. I barely think about it, to be honest. And I don't water him as much as you maybe should. However, that's false because he's clearly doing okay. He just doesn't need that much attention. He takes care of himself. Here is another snake plant that is doing very well. And this is the type of plant that we have downstairs. And this is an example of one that is very finicky, but also easy to nurse back to health. My son, bless his heart, loves to help me water the plants, and unbeknownst to me, this used to be in the bathroom and he was dumping water on it every day, and he only had like, well, at the time, this down here was here. So he had like 2 sprigs of new growth. The rest were dead. His roots were rot, but I just trimmed off the root rot and the dead leaves, planted him somewhere else and put him in a different location. And now in maybe 6 months time, he has completely regenerated other than a couple little spots, but easy to take care of as long as you're taking care of it. And now to have definitive proof that snake plants are by far the easiest plant to take care of, I'm going to show you the bathroom plant, my experiment that has been going on for about 2 years. The plant that I'm about to show you, since it has been in my possession for 2 years, has never seen the light of day. And it sees water maybe once a month. Here he is. He was so tiny whenever I got him, and I heard that these will pretty much live in any condition, and I wanted to test that theory. And also, it's hard to have a plant in your bathroom, and I like the way it looks. But again, no light, barely any water. He's not, the healthiest, but he's not unhealthy, and he's starting to grow new growth even in these terrible, horrible, no good conditions. Now this even would probably go away if he was watered more, but again, this is an experiment and also the perfect proof when someone asks me what can I have that won't die. Snake plant. Thank you again so much for joining me. I hope that you learned something or got some ideas of what you might want in your house. And if you didn't, I hope you at least enjoyed looking at the plants. And if you didn't, there's no way you made it this far without that. So if you have not subscribed, again, please consider doing so. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. If you have any other suggestions on what you would like to see that are not tarot videos, drop them in the comments and I will be sure to do that.